Hey guys, Don here. Welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery, where we're going to kind of go over what helps our practice make it to the $1 million mark and beyond, and that's what my goal is for you. I was having a little talk yesterday with Al. Al's the guy that's sending out my newsletter. You may have got newsletter number 2, and we're trying to put together a kind of a mastermind. We're figuring how to set it out. I'd like to do a hot seat mastermind with people that want to help their practice to kind of get to that $1 million mark. The thought is we would have a group, 6 or 7 practices or people, and then we would meet periodically. I'm not sure if I have the bandwidth right now with switching this EMR, but I'm thinking like once a month, and then each person would be able to be in the hot seat. And that just means it's about an hour meeting, 20 minutes. You kind of talk about your practice, what's going on, what's good, what's bad, and then you bring up an issue processing. So like there's a certain issue that you want help with, you kind of state that in a certain way, and then what happens is we all kind of give some input for you for the practice, the other people that are in this. This could then be recorded, and then it can kind of help you. So this can either be via Zoom or simply via telephone. So I'm thinking about doing a time after practice to do this. So if you guys are interested, shoot me an email, don@podiatrypracticemastery.com. What else is going? We are day number 14 into the ModMed transition, and I just about quit yesterday. It was so bad. I don't think it wasn't ModMed. It was that I just so happened that our x-ray machine kind of stopped working, so it's frustrating for me, frustrating for staff. It's a little frustrating because I'm still figuring out how to sign stuff. Within Athena, it was a lot easier. With ModMed, I almost needed to get like an iPad to do it. And one thing I didn't like about the training is like they give options. So I'm reading this book right now called The Paradox of Choice, and it's talking about like sometimes too many options are actually bad for people. So think about it. If you talk about plantar fasciitis and you give everyone all the options, even though they're not equally weighted, it's not good for the patient because they're not gonna get better. Like if you say, oh, you could like if anti-inflammatories and icing is going to be the same as like shockwave or cortisone, it's definitely not. Home stretching isn't the same as physical therapy. And so when the trainers came, they said, oh yeah, you could do this if you wanted, and this and that, and really it would have been better to have a podiatrist as a trainer and said, hey, you guys need iPads. At least to sign your notes, or at least to get consents. Otherwise, it's going to be a pain because you have to print out the papers and stuff like that. So that's what we're learning. I finally figured out how to. So I took my wife's iPad and I signed in, and then it was super easy to sign some stuff. So I'm still kind of learning that. Today, I'm recording this, and I would love to tell you what I did yesterday, but it's all a blur. I can't remember. I think I did 2 orthotics. I did a lot of shockwave. But I'm still kind of learning where to put things in the notes, and myself and my partner, we've kind of used. There's an additional note section where we're going to put the stuff we really want to remember next time, like the stuff because a lot of it's fluff, and then there's the real stuff you want to remember. So that's where we're putting that, and so when we look at our future notes, I think it'll be easier. Also, I was kind of learning how to add in different types of diagnoses. We're saving some protocols, making it a little bit easier for us, but still not completely there. I'm doing this. I don't usually do this. I'm doing this in my car today, only because I got a late start. I was asked to do a talk for a shockwave company. I think I told you that. I've kind of politely bowed out of it, only because I didn't like the way that they did the marketing, and it kind of I don't usually get too annoyed, but this one did. So if you got an email from me saying that I was going to do a talk on shockwave, I'm not, only because the way it was marketed kind of said that I am switching, like I made a switch to a different shockwave company, and really it was just we bought a different shockwave. Not that I made the switch, but so that was something that I don't usually talk about what annoys me, but there's a few things that have been annoying me lately. On a good note, though, today I'm recording this. It's going to be on a Friday, so we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. Last Friday was kind of a bear because I have patients every 10 minutes, and so every patient's a new patient. So my poor scribe, he's going to be suffering. So I'm working on that, on how to alleviate some of his pain, and also I think I'm getting better though with determining about class findings and doing routine care for the office. But that's about it. This is kind of a discombobulated episode, and I wish I had bandwidth to do other things. So this mastermind thing probably won't start in a little bit. Some people have reached out to me. I appreciate it. So if you have any great tips, if you use ModMed, I think we're 2 weeks in. So now I can maybe understand what those tips would be. So just reach out to me, shoot me an email down at podiatrypracticemastery.com. I just think I'm still writing down the 10 good things every day. I think that's kind of helping me, and I'm eating a lot. So that's what I'm doing to cope getting through this. Okay, guys, hope you have a good day. Sorry for the rant today. Hopefully I have something more educational and inspiring. I guess I'll talk about a good thing. So a good thing is ModMed has something called Clara, which has a survey function, which basically asks people to do online reviews. And so we're going to be able to get rid of Swell, which I think was a really good company. Swell was a way to ask for reviews, and now we can use this Clara thing. It also has online scheduling because I think it's actually superior, the online chatbot, than the one we previously had with Athena. So like the staff come in and there's like 200 messages. So it's really easy to send messages, really easy to communicate with us. We're just getting overwhelmed, like the phones, because it transcribes all the voicemails, and it's just kind of overwhelming for staff. So I think by making it a little bit easier for them to make appointments on their own, it's gonna make it a little bit easier for doing that. But there's a little bit of admin overload right now, so we're still kind of figuring out how we're going to do this, or if we need to add more people. But it's kind of an astute thing, I think, from Clara, because they give you Clara to talk about patients, and then they say, hey, if you want to add things like online scheduling, it's going to be so much. If you want to add online reviews, it's going to be so much. If you want to do like a cell phone check-in, it's going to be so much. So it's going to end up being, for the 4 doctors, about $1,000 a month. I think Swell itself was somewhere around $200 or $300. And so we'll save that, but I think in the end it'll save a lot of staff time, because patients, as long as they don't mess it up, that's what we're not sure of. If we're going to mess up how people log in or schedule appointments, like a lot of times if we can make just like certain places of where they can make appointments, that'll be a little bit easier. And then finally, I think this new Clara thing would be able to do something that I've always wanted to do, which is when people make reviews, they confirm that they can send it to each individual Google My Business account for each doctor. So that's going to be nice. So like if they go to our Westboro office, I see patients in Westboro, it can send to my Google review in Westboro. If I'm in Worcester, it can send to my Worcester office Google review. And so we can get specific Google reviews to kind of dominate Google. Whereas with Swell, we could only send to like the generic ones, and we would have to swap them around. So it was a little bit harder. The other thing I'm kind of stoked about is I think Clara can do something like when patients make an appointment, it sends them the paperwork, but we could send them out patient education information prior to coming in. So for example, I don't know, we have like the top 10 things that we treat in the office, and before, hey, if you want to read up a little bit about the top 10 things that we see, here is some information on like diabetes, here's some information on plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, other things like that, nail fungus. And so you could have that all on one page, on one like blog post, and you could send that out before, so people can kind of know what to expect, what are some of the kind of the treatments that we do in a very kind of simple fashion, so they can learn more and kind of get some of the resources that we have prior. Anyway, those are the thoughts. Those are the good things. Sorry I started on the bad stuff, but I think it'll be a good day. I'll let you know how it goes next week.